Welcome back to Civic Education Minds. I'm Teacher K. Today, I want us to look at question 5 of the 2019 ECZ exam paper, which was asking about briefly explaining some gender terms. Let's look at the question. So this is the question that came. Explain the following concepts in relation to gender and development. And the concepts that we're looking at are gender equality 2 marks, gender equity 2 marks, gender roles 2 marks, gender analysis 2 marks, and gender mainstreaming 2 marks. In this paper, each of the question was carrying 10 marks in section B. This time, things have changed. It's only 8 marks. But at this time, 2019, it was 10 marks for each of the questions that were in section B. Let's look at gender equality. What is gender equality? We're saying gender equality means that women and men have the same rights, opportunities, and treatment in all aspects of life. So the aim of gender equality is to make sure that we eliminate discrimination and ensure that both genders can enjoy equal benefits and access to resources. So whatever resources that are there. So for example, if someone is employing, they're not going to look at whether this one is male or female. They're going to look at the merits based on the papers that they have. Do they have the right qualifications for the particular job? Let's say we're employing a security guard. Now, if a male and a female apply, we're not going to look at the gender of the applicants. Instead, we're going to look at the papers that they have or the qualifications that they have for the job that they are applying for. Then we look at gender equity. Now, gender equity takes it a little bit further and says, due to historical and societal disparities, women and men may require different resources or support to achieve equality. It focuses on fairness and justice, acknowledging that some groups might need extra assistance for them to reach the same level of well-being. So for example, we have policies like affirmative action, others call it positive discrimination. So in this case, you need, for example, if it is in terms of education, you are going to say, okay, let's make sure that the cutoff point is going to be high for this gender than for the other gender so that we balance the number of those that are going to be in schools for both. So that is gender equity. So we can define it as a process by which women and men are treated fairly in accordance to their respective needs in society. Then we look at gender roles. Now, gender roles can be defined as activities, tasks, and responsibilities which are assigned as female or male by a society. We can also define it as societal expectations and norms that define what is considered appropriate behavior and responsibilities for individuals based on their gender. So for example, we find most people believe that women are supposed to be nurses, teachers are supposed to be found in the kitchen cooking, and so on. So their role is based on them taking care of a home. For the men, we're saying men should be pilots, doctors, breadwinners, and so on. And that is about gender roles. Let's look at gender analysis. Now, gender analysis is a strategy that involves examining how gender impacts and is impacted by various policies, programs, or actions. It wants to understand how different genders are affected differently, and it helps in developing more inclusive and more effective strategies. Let's say, for example, in terms of education, gender analysis would tell us to say that we have more girls dropping out of school at a higher rate than boys due to cultural norms. Now, when we have a problem like this, we want to develop programs that are going to provide mentorship and support for girls and encourage them to stay in school instead. So that is gender analysis. Then we look at the last one, which is gender mainstreaming. Now, this one involves integrating a gender perspective or view into all areas of decision making and planning. This is to ensure that needs and interests of both women and men are considered and addressed. So let's say, for example, when we are developing an urban area, we want to design cities or public spaces with the safety of women in mind. We want to make sure that the streets are well lit. We put street lights. We want to make sure that there is safe public transportation for all the genders, especially for women, and that is, we want it to be free from verbal, physical, or even sexual harassment. We also want to make sure that the public areas have female-friendly amenities, for example, toilets or sitting areas, or even areas where women can sit and breastfeed their babies. So that is gender mainstreaming. So all in all, we just have to make sure that we summarize and write the points that are needed for us to get the 2 marks. We also have to bear in mind that as we talk about gender, it's a very sensitive topic and we may mention women a lot, and that is because they are the ones that suffer the harassment more than the men. There are men that do suffer harassment, and sometimes when they report cases, you find that the people in society will tend to laugh at them and think they are weak. So this topic is just trying to make us be aware of the different issues that we face when we're talking about gender issues. Thank you for being with me. Please subscribe to the channel and give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.